Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about the circadian rhythm, which is one of my all-time favorite topics to talk about. Yes, that's nerdy. Anyway, so the circadian rhythm is our 24-hour biological pattern. It's the cycle that our body likes to follow day in and day out. Each of our body systems has its own circadian rhythm, even down to our individual cells. So our body really loves to follow a rhythm and do the same thing in the same way every single day. So that's really cool. How do we use this to our advantage when it comes to sleep? Well, our rhythm is regulated primarily by the light-dark cycle of the earth. And the light that is around us, bright light that the sun gives off, tells our bodies it's time to be alert and awake. And the absence of light, the darkness, tells our bodies it's time for sleep. So the pattern works out something like this. If we're in a normal schedule and our bodies are functioning the way they should, where our alerting signals start out low in the morning because we've just been asleep all night in the dark, but they start to ramp up during the day and they build throughout the day. And that is with exposure to light because we're spending most of our daytime in light. And this helps us to stay awake during the day because in the background of this is what we call homeostatic sleep pressure, or just that drive to feel sleepy. So the longer it's been since we've slept, the more sleepy that we feel. So as we're building up a sleep drive during the day, our circadian rhythm is kind of countering that to keep us awake and alert during the day. And then it lets the sleep drive take over at night to carry us off into sleep. So this is really beneficial because us humans work best during the day when there's light for us to see, food for us to eat, etc., etc. So the circadian rhythm helps us to consolidate wakefulness during the day so that we stay awake all day long. And then it also helps us consolidate sleep at night, so keep us asleep all night long. And remember, I said the circadian rhythm is set mostly, not entirely, but mostly by bright light. So if you're finding yourself ever feeling really tired or not very alert, bright light is a great go-to during the day. It also may be a reason why many of us can't sleep at night because maybe we're exposing ourselves to too much light in the evening hours when we should be kind of winding down and signaling to our bodies that it's time for sleep. The cool thing that happens too is that our body releases a type of hormone in response to the absence of light, and this hormone is called melatonin. This tells our bodies that it's time for sleep, and it tells those alerting signals to wait until tomorrow and turn off. So melatonin is a story for a different day, so I'll spend more time in a later video explaining all the ins and outs of melatonin. But if we spend a lot of time in bright light in the evening hours, it can suppress our melatonin and make us more alert at night, make it more difficult for us to fall asleep when we're ready to fall asleep. So knowing this pattern can really help you maximize feeling good during the day. So get out and get bright light during the day, and make sure that you're pulling off of bright light in the evening, exposing yourself to dim light so you feel ready to sleep by the time it's bedtime. Another thing about the circadian rhythm is that many of us have a circadian rhythm disorder. And for some of us, that just means that we prefer to have a later bedtime and a later rise time in the morning, or vice versa. We might have a tendency to go to bed way earlier than everybody else and get up really early. Usually that's not a bad thing, and usually it's not something that needs to be treated unless it starts impacting your ability to get through the day or your functioning, or you start to develop insomnia on top of that. We all have our own kind of preferences for feeling more alert in the morning or the evening. Regardless, though, you can work with this and use light when you want to feel more alert, and dim light or darkness when you want to feel sleepy. Another really important thing is consistency and regularity. I say this all the time, but we really want to be waking up at the same time every day so that we start getting bright light exposure at the same time every day and really stick ourselves into a good rhythm. Remember, our body craves that rhythm, doing the same thing at the same time every day. And that even helps you sleep better at night because it helps regulate the timing of sleepiness, and so that you'll feel more sleepy at nighttime if you get into a really good pattern of getting up at the same time every day. And that's what we want to feel. We want to feel awake during the day and sleepy at night. So I really encourage you to think about how you can use bright light. And by bright light, I mean daylight, getting outside, moving in the open air, or even thinking about like turning on the lights in your house, turning on overhead lights if you're feeling kind of down or sluggish during the day. And by the same token, turning off overhead lights in the evening hours, using more low light or lamps in the evening before bed, and even during the night, making sure that you're turning out any light sources and you're not exposing yourself to light as you're trying to sleep. So blackout curtains are a great thing to do as well. Let me know in the comments if you have questions about the circadian rhythm. Like I said, I love to talk about it. And I hope this is helpful for you in terms of making you feel better during the day and helping you sleep better at night.